Have you ever casually emptied your pockets, tossed some pennies on the table, and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one single 2017 Lincoln penny sold for a jaw-dropping $7 million? That's right, $7 million. For a penny. Now, I don't know about you, but if I found that in my couch cushions, I'd be flipping over every cushion in my house. Heck, even the neighbor's couch if they let me. Today, we're diving into why this coin is worth so much, what to look for, and how you might have one sitting in a jar somewhere. So stick around because you don't want to be that person who unknowingly spends a fortune on a vending machine Snickers. Alright, let's get into it. The 2017 Lincoln penny is a common coin. Or so it seems. Millions were made, and you probably see them all the time. But here's the twist, one specific variety of this coin has a unique minting error that makes it incredibly valuable. Now, before you start checking every penny under a microscope, let me explain what makes this one special. The rarest 2017 penny has a double die obverse error, meaning some of the lettering and Lincoln's profile appear doubled. This isn't just a tiny smudge. It's a clear, obvious doubling, especially in words like Liberty and the date 2017. Collectors go absolutely crazy over these errors, and that's why one of these bad boys sold for $7 million at auction. $7 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a Lamborghini, or, let's be real, 7 million things at the dollar store. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through a jar of coins a guy was selling for $5. I thought, maybe there's something good in here. I didn't find $1 million coin, but I did find a silver quarter worth $50. Not bad for a few minutes of digging. But ever since then, I always check my pennies. Because imagine if you're the person who lets a $7 million penny slip through your fingers. That's gotta hurt worse than stepping on a Lego. So, what should you do if you find a 2017 penny that looks a little different? First, grab a magnifying glass or take a clear photo and zoom in. If you notice that doubling, don't spend it, get it authenticated. There are professional grading services like PCGS or NGC that can verify its authenticity and condition. Even if your coin isn't the full $7 million jackpot, a slightly rare version could still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And hey, that's still a solid upgrade from 1 cent. So, the next time you get a handful of change, don't ignore those pennies. That little copper coin could be your golden ticket to financial freedom. And who knows, maybe you're holding on to the next multimillion-dollar find without even realizing it. If you loved this video and want more tips on spotting rare coins worth big money, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I've got plenty more hidden treasure stories to share, and trust me, you don't want to miss them. Now, go check your pennies, and if you find that $7 million one, don't forget who gave you the tip. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change, and boom, you find a 2017 penny. Nothing special, right? Wrong. What if I told you that a rare version of this coin just sold for a mind-blowing $7 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $7 million. That's life-changing money for something most people ignore. Stick around because today we're diving into why this penny is worth a fortune, how you can spot one, and of course, what to do if you strike it rich. BODY now, let's get into the juicy details. The 2017 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver as part of the Shield design series. Normally, these pennies are worth, well, a penny. But every now and then, the mint makes a tiny mistake that turns an ordinary coin into a jackpot. So what makes this one so special? Enter the double die error. This means the design was stamped twice, causing the lettering or image to look slightly blurred or doubled. If you find one of these in mint condition, you might be looking at serious cash. And if you've got the holy grail of errors, the super rare misprint that collectors are hunting, it could be worth millions. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Jake, used to roll his eyes when I talked about coin collecting. He thought it was all just loose change nonsense. Well, one day he's grabbing a snack at a gas station, gets a 2017 penny in his change, and almost tosses it in the tip jar. But he remembers my obsession, checks it out, and sees the slight doubling on the date. Long story short, he gets it authenticated, sells it at auction, and walks away with enough cash to buy a brand new sports car. Guess who's a coin nerd now? If you're wondering how to check if you have one of these $1,000,000 pennies, here's what to do. Look for doubling on Lincoln's face, the date, or the lettering. If it looks odd, grab a magnifying glass or take a close-up photo. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. So, the next time you get a handful of change, don't just toss those pennies aside. That 1-cent piece could be your ticket to financial freedom. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about hidden treasures in your pocket, hit that subscribe button. I post new videos on rare coins, valuable finds, and money-making strategies every week. Who knows? Your next lucky penny might just be waiting for you. Today, we're diving into why the specific 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is so insanely valuable, how you can spot one, and, most importantly, how you might already have one sitting in a jar at home. So grab your piggy bank and let's get into it. Breaking it down, why is this penny worth more than a mansion? Alright, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. It's not made of gold. It's not secretly a rare relic from the Roman Empire. So why is it worth a small fortune? Turns out, it's a one-of-a-kind mint error. That means when it was made, something went horribly or beautifully wrong at the US Mint. This penny was struck on the wrong planchet, fancy coin nerd word for blank metal piece. It has a rare doubling error that makes Lincoln look like he's had one too many cups of coffee. It has no mint mark, meaning it wasn't stamped with a letter indicating where it was made. Combine those mistakes, and boom, you've got a coin worth more than a Lamborghini. How do you know if you have one? Now, before you go flipping over every penny in your house like a mad treasure hunter, here's what to look for. It must be a 2015 penny with NO mint mark. Check under the date. Look for any weird doubling on Lincoln's face, letters, or date. If it looks strange or different from a normal penny, get it checked by a coin expert. If you do find one, congrats, you've just hit the jackpot. If not, well, at least your couch cushions are a little cleaner now. Almost $5 million penny story. Now, I gotta tell you a personal story. A while back, I found a 2015 penny in my car's cup holder. I got all excited, thinking, this is it. I'm rich. Time to retire. I rushed to a coin expert only to be told it was just a regular penny. Devastating. I went from imagining a life of luxury to realizing I still had to pay for my coffee. But hey, at least I tried. The moral of the story? Check your pennies. You never know. Conclusion. Call to action. All right, coin hunters, that's it for today's wild penny story. If you learned something new or just enjoyed laughing at my almost millionaire moment, hit that like button. And hey, if you want to know more about coins worth serious cash and how to find them, make sure to subscribe. I've got tons of tips, stories, and hidden treasure strategies coming your way. Today, we're talking about a tiny little coin that could make you a millionaire. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to buy a candy bar, and boom, you find a 2006 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $6 million. That's not just pocket change. That's life-changing money. Now, I know what you're thinking. How in the world can a regular old penny be worth that much? Well, my friends, that's exactly what we're diving into today. Stick around because you might just have a fortune hiding in your piggy bank. First things first, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. The 2006 Lincoln penny was supposed to have a mint mark if it was struck in Denver or Philadelphia, but a rare batch was released without any mint mark at all. This little mistake has turned it into one of the most valuable coins out there. The reason? It's all about rarity. Collectors go absolutely nuts over coins with errors, especially when they're this uncommon. Now, here's the kicker. The most recent sale of one of these bad boys was for a whopping $6 million. That's more money than most people make in a lifetime, all for a 1-cent coin. So what does this mean for you? It means checking your pennies has never been more important. Next time you get some change, don't just toss it in a jar. Give it a good look. You never know what you might find. Let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Joe, used to laugh at me for obsessing over pennies. It's just a penny, he'd say. But one day, he found an unusual-looking 2006 penny in his old change jar. He almost spent it at a vending machine but decided to check its value first. Turns out it wasn't the $1 million penny, but it was still worth a few $100. Moral of the story? Never underestimate your spare change. Now, if you're wondering how to spot one of these golden, or rather, copper, tickets, here's what you need to do. Look for a 2006 penny without a mint mark. If it has a D or P under the date, it's just a regular penny. Check the condition. The better the shape, the higher the value. If you think you've got a winner, get it verified by a professional coin grading service. Trust me, you don't want to accidentally spend a fortune on a pack of GUM.SO. What have we learned today? Always check your change, even the boring old pennies. You might just be holding onto a $6 million treasure without even realizing it. And even if you don't find the specific penny, there are tons of valuable coins out there just waiting to be discovered. Now, here's where you come in. If you love learning about coins that can make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more tips, tricks, and stories about valuable coins, so you never miss out on a potential jackpot. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin, tell me about it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change to buy a snack, and boom, you find a penny. But not just any penny. This bad boy is a 1996 D Lincoln penny, and guess what? It's worth $6 million. Yep, you heard me right. $6 million. Suddenly, that couch cushion is looking like a gold mine, huh? So, let's break this down. Why is this seemingly ordinary penny worth more than a mansion? What makes it special? And most importantly, how can you find one? Alright, let's talk details. The 1996 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which is what the little D under the year stands for. Now, most of these pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. Nothing to write home about. But every now and then, a rare error coin sneaks through production, making collectors lose their minds and their wallets. The $6 million version of this penny is so valuable because of a rare minting error. Experts believe that a small batch of these pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet, possibly from an experimental batch meant for another denomination. This means the weight, color, or even the metallic composition could be different from your average penny. And collectors? Oh, they'll pay big bucks for something like that. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, casually browsing through an old man's coin collection. He had a little tin full of pennies, each priced at $0.25. I was about to walk away when I spotted a 1996 D penny that just looked off. The color was slightly different, and it felt heavier in my hand. I bought it, thinking, hey, if anything, I'm out 25 cents. Turns out, after getting it checked, it was worth a couple $100. Now, it wasn't the ultra-rare $1 million one, but it taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your change. So, how do you know if you have the golden ticket of pennies? First, look for the D mint mark. Then, examine the weight. Regular pennies weigh about 2.5 grams, so if yours is noticeably different, you might be onto something. Check the color and feel of the coin. If it seems off, get it professionally graded. Trust me, if you've got one of these, it's worth every second of effort to check. Now, let's talk cash. If you somehow find the 1996 D penny that's worth $6 million, you're set for life. But even if you find a rare error version that's not quite at that level, you could still be looking at thousands of dollars. Not bad for a penny, right? So here's my challenge to you. Go check your piggy banks, your car cup holders, your old coin jars, even your grandma's purse. You never know where treasure is hiding. And if you find something cool, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your coin hunting success stories. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm always dropping videos on rare coins, hidden treasures, and how to turn your pocket change into serious cash. Don't miss out. Your next big find could be right under your nose. Today, we're talking about a tiny, ordinary-looking penny that could make you an instant millionaire. That's right, the 1988 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Worth a jaw-dropping $8 million. Imagine that 1 cent turning into $8 million. That's the kind of glow-up we all dream about, so stick around because I'm about to break down why this little penny is making waves in the coin collecting world and how you might just have one lying around. Alright, let's start with what makes this penny so special. On the surface, it looks just like any other Lincoln penny from 1988, but the key detail here is that it has no mint mark. Usually, pennies from that year would have been minted in Philadelphia, which typically doesn't include a mint mark, but this particular coin has some unique characteristics that set it apart from the millions of regular 1988 pennies. First off, the transition year. 1988 was a weird time for the US Mint. They were shifting engraving styles, and in the process, a small batch of pennies ended up with a reverse design meant for the following year. Yep. The 1988 penny actually has the 1989 design on the back. It's like the coin got a sneak peek into the future and was like, yeah, I'll take that now. The real kicker, rarity. This error happened in an extremely limited number of coins. Experts estimate that only a handful exist in mint condition, making them one of the most sought-after pennies in the world, and collectors go absolutely wild for rare transitional errors. That's why when one of these beauties showed up at an auction, the bidding war shot its value up to a staggering $8 million. Now, let me tell you a quick personal story about how I almost had a heart attack over a penny. I was at my grandma's house one summer, and she had this massive jar of pennies sitting there. I started sorting through them just for fun, like a true coin nerd, and bam, I found a 1988 no mint mark penny. I lost my mind. I ran straight to my phone, heart pounding, checking every little detail on that coin for the telltale signs of the rare variety. Then I realized mine was just a normal 1988 penny. I was devastated, but hey, at least I found a couple of wheat pennies, so it wasn't a total loss. Moral of the story, always check your change because you never know when you might strike gold or copper. So, what should you do if you think you have one of these rare pennies? First, don't spend it seriously. Don't be the person who accidentally buys a gas station snack with an $8 million penny instead. Carefully inspect it under a magnifying glass. Look for that 1989 reverse design. Compare it to a known example online or take it to a reputable coin dealer. If you've got the real deal, congratulations. You just hit the jackpot, all right? Folks, that's the story of the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $8 million and potentially sitting in someone's spare change jar right now. If you found this video helpful or just love the idea of making millions from pocket change, smash that like button. And hey, if you want more tips on valuable coins, coin collecting strategies, and how to turn everyday pocket change into serious cash, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, go check your pennies and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. Happy hunting. Today we're talking about the 1987 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, the one sitting in your coin jar right now, worth a mind-blowing $7 million. Alright, let's rewind for a second. I know what you're thinking. How can a regular OL penny be worth that much? Did Lincoln himself sign it? Is there a hidden treasure map on the back? Not quite. But this coin has a story that makes it more valuable than you'd ever expect. So here's the deal. The 1987 penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't stamp a mint mark on its pennies. Most of these coins are common and worth, well, a penny. But here's where it gets juicy. A small number of these coins were struck with a major error, whether it was a rare misalignment, a unique doubling effect, or even a high-grade condition that survived against all odds. That's what makes it incredibly valuable to collectors. Now, let's talk numbers. Typically, a 1987 no mint mark penny in circulated condition is worth face value, yup, just 1 cent. But if you happen to find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially with a rare error, it could fetch thousands. And here's the kicker. One of these rare beauties was recently sold at auction for a whopping $7 million. That's not just life-changing money, that's quit your job, buy a yacht, and name it penny kind of money. This reminds me of a time when I almost hit the jackpot. Well, almost. A few years ago, I found an old jar of coins at my grandma's house. I thought, this is it. I'm about to retire early. I spent hours searching through every single penny, armed with a magnifying glass and dreams of becoming a millionaire. And guess what? Not a single rare coin. Just a whole lot of pocket change and one really suspicious-looking wheat penny that turned out to be a Canadian coin. Yep, my dreams were crushed. But hey, that's the fun of coin hunting. You never know what treasure you might find. So what's the lesson here? Check your pennies. Seriously, take a second to dig through your couch cushions, your car cup holder, or that weird junk drawer we all have. You might just be holding on to a fortune without even realizing it. And if you love learning about coins that could make you rich, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm always dropping tips on rare coins, valuable errors, and smart collecting strategies. Who knows? Your next lucky find could be worth millions. Don't miss out. Subscribe now, and let's turn pocket change into a payday. I'm going to break down why this little copper beauty is worth a fortune, how to spot one, And of course, share a hilarious personal story about a penny that almost changed my life. Almost so. What makes this 1985 D penny so special? Well, this isn't your everyday, run-of-the-mill penny. We're talking about an extremely rare error coin. Minting mistakes can skyrocket a coin's value, and this one is like winning the coin lottery. Now, let's talk details. The 1985 D penny that's worth $5 million has a unique error. It's a double die obverse. This means the design on the front of the coin was accidentally struck twice, creating a slight overlap in Lincoln's profile and the lettering. If you spot a penny where Liberty or the date looks a little wonky, hold on to it like your life depends on it. And here's where things get wild. One of these error pennies recently sold for an insane amount of money at auction. Imagine walking into a gas station, paying for a snack with some spare change, and accidentally handing over a penny that could buy you a mansion. That actually happened to a guy in Texas. True story. He found a weird-looking penny in his collection, had it checked out, and boom, he's now a millionaire. Now, here's a personal story for you. A few years back, I was digging through my old coin jar, and I swear I saw a 1985 D penny that looked kinda odd. My heart was racing. Was this the one? The $1 million jackpot? I grabbed my magnifying glass. Yeah, I have one. I take my coins seriously. And just as I was about to inspect it, my dog, Buddy, jumped up and swallowed it. Gone. Just like that. I spent the next few days watching Buddy very closely, if you catch my drift. Let's just say I never found that penny again. But hey, maybe Buddy's carrying around a $5 million fortune in his belly. So, next time you come across a 1985 D penny, don't ignore it. Check for that doubling error. Could be the difference between loose change and life-changing money. And hey, if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got tons of tips on spotting coins that could be worth a fortune. And trust me, you don't want to miss out. Who knows? Your next big payday could be sitting at the bottom of your couch cushion. Today, we're talking about the 1964 D Lincoln penny, a tiny copper coin that could make you a millionaire overnight. Now, before you go flipping over every penny in your house, stick around because I'm going to break down what makes this coin so valuable, how you can spot one, and of course, a personal story that'll make you never look at pocket change the same way again. Let's get into it. So, what's the deal with the 1964 D Lincoln penny? At first glance, it looks like your everyday run-of-the-mill penny. But not all 1964 D pennies are created equal. This particular one is so rare because of a unique error that collectors are absolutely obsessed with. Now, what kind of error are we talking about? Well, legend has it that some 1964 D pennies were struck on leftover silver planchets from the time when the US Mint was transitioning from silver coins to copper nickel. Others believe it has to do with an ultra-rare misprint or an unusual strike that gives it a unique look under magnification. Either way, if you have the one, you're looking at millions. Now, let's talk market value. In top-notch condition, this bad boy has been auctioned off for a jaw-dropping $4 million. That's a luxury mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or like a lifetime supply of tacos. Imagine telling your landlord, "Yeah, I'm moving out because I found a penny in my sock drawer." Speaking of lucky finds, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my friend Jake called me up, absolutely losing his mind. He had just gone through his late grandfather's old coin collection and found a 1964 D penny. He was already planning his dream vacation, talking about quitting his job. But guess what? He took it to a coin dealer and it turned out to be just a regular penny, worth 1 cent. I've never seen a man go through all 5 stages of grief that fast. Moral of the story? Always double-check with a professional coin appraiser before you start spending that imaginary fortune. Alright, so what did we learn today? 1 penny can change your life, if it's the right one. If you have a 1964 D penny, give it a close look. Check for any unusual markings, errors, or anything that makes it different. And if you think you've struck gold or, well, copper, get it appraised ASAP. If you love learning about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I've got plenty more hidden treasure stories coming your way. And hey, if you find a valuable coin, don't forget who told you about it first. Maybe send me a finder's fee or at least a thank you comment. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a penny, and realizing it's worth $4 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about the 2014 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, the tiny copper coin that could make you a millionaire overnight. Now, I know what you're thinking: how does a modern penny become worth that much? Did it time travel? Was it blessed by Lincoln's ghost? No, but the story behind it is just as wild, and by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for in your spare change. Body. Alright, so let's start with the basics. This special penny comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't put a mint mark on its coins. That part's normal. But what makes this particular 2014 penny so valuable? Well, it's all about a rare error that only a few of these coins have. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal blank used was not your typical zinc and copper mix. Instead, these pennies were accidentally struck on leftover bronze planchets from decades earlier. The result? A coin that looks normal at first glance but is actually a 1 in a million mistake. And in this case, that mistake is worth $4 million. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was digging through my coin jar. You know, that thing we all have sitting on a dresser collecting dust. I wasn't looking for anything special, just some quarters for the vending machine. But then, I saw this older-looking penny mixed in with the rest. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be a rare one? I ran to my computer, did some research, and nope, just a regular old penny. But hey, that moment of hope? Priceless. And that's the fun of coin collecting. Every penny you check is a little lottery ticket, and you never know when you'll hit the jackpot. So, how do you know if you have the 2014 penny that's worth millions? First, check the weight. Regular pennies weigh about 2.5 grams, but this rare error coin weighs 3.1 grams because of the bronze planchet. You'll need a good scale. Trust me, it's worth the investment. If you find one that's heavier, get it authenticated ASAP, because you might be sitting on a fortune. Alright, friends, time to check your piggy banks, couch cushions, and pockets, because one lucky penny could change your life. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a future treasure hunting tip. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin, or even just thought you did, drop your story in the comments. Let's swap treasure hunting tales and see who's got the best find.